Hey everybody, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I am focusing on doing some time-saving things in the kitchen. There's lots of things that I try to do to save myself time and to make things easier for our entire family in the kitchen. If you've seen my recent routine videos, you know that I am trying to get things moving through the kitchen a lot smoother. And so today there's a couple of things that I am working on to try to continue that. One of them is I'm going to make granola. We've been out for a while and I really want to replenish our supply of that. And I need to grind up our wheat berries into some flour so that that's ready to go. I thought the next time I made something and I wanted to use it, I would go ahead and grind them up. But I thought as long as I'm making granola and I just need to wait for it to bake, I'll do a couple of other things. And then I'm going to try and tackle my pantry. My pantry is a disaster. And so I think that getting that cleaned up will not only make it easier to see what I have, but it will make the time when I'm spending in and out of there and looking for things a lot less. So let's start on the granola and then we'll move on to the flour. As I always say, you know I mean business when I get out the big bowl, the big pans, and the buckets. Recently, I decided to try my regular granola recipe, which I can link, without any nuts or seeds, just the oats and then the mixture. And so what I've done is I've put a lot of just the rolled oats in and replaced the amount that would normally be taken up with seeds and nuts. And I've just put oats in instead. I'm still going to grind up oats to use because I feel like having that as a sort of like a powdery, floury element in here helps to kind of bind everything together. So I'm still going to do that, but I'm not going to add seeds and nuts. I'm just going to do the oats and then the sort of seasony oil sweet mixture. So we had another epic disaster. The vanilla, I don't know, that was the first time I had this type of bottle, and when I opened it up, I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was a squirt bottle. It wasn't. So I kind of dumped it and squirt, and then the cap gave way, and we had an absolute vanilla explosion. Everything smelled like vanilla. I didn't really know how to correct it, so I ended up dumping out some of the liquid. I ended up trying to dump off as much liquid as I could, add back in what I thought might help balance things out. We'll see. It's a Murphy's Law kind of day. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. I guess it's a test. It's a trial day. While this kind of gets going on the stove, here is the mixture. I normally buy my honey and my maple syrup in those large quantities because buying in those bulk sizes definitely saves money, and they can just hang out in the fridge or the cabinet for as long as necessary. Also, when I had my oats out from downstairs, I went ahead and filled up our gallon here because this was about half empty. Normally I wait until it's empty, but I decided today to give myself a little help on that. Is now completely cooled down. I'm going to go ahead and get it transferred. This was a mess. I had it sitting in a really bad spot and something fell out of my top cabinet, went right inside, and this is really powdery, so we made a mess. Little setback, but we're getting it done here. This is so nice to have ready to go on hand. It adds such a great nutritional boost. Not only is it whole wheat, but it's sprouted. I'm going to see what flour I can scrape off of my counter here. And then I'll go ahead and get this. Wow, this is an epic disaster. It was all over my face and everything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cap that, put it back in our freezer, do a little bit more cleanup from the flour explosion, and we'll move on to the pantry. Because of the things that have been happening in the kitchen today, I'm actually running really low on time. So this is going to be the fastest pantry organization in the history of pantry organization, at least in this house. So I'm going to show you this embarrassingly messy pantry. I keep some appliances up there. I try to do in order of either safety. So that's why I have like my food processor blades and things like that up there, and then work down to things that are easier to access, that are safer for the little one. And then also order of things that we use. So the things that the kids would want to grab be lower and more accessible. And the things that they don't need to grab or we use less, up top. As you can see, this is where we keep winter hats. Extremely well organized. Everything looks great down there, perfectly organized. My granola containers, which will be filled, but not yet. And we also have the dog food back there. And currently there's a chair in the way, but that's where we feed our dog. Water purifier. I apologize, this is a really narrow doorway and it's kind of a weird angle, but I'm going to empty this really quickly and we'll see what we can do. Okay, this is showing me how I need to paint, where my bowls sit and things like that. Okay, I left all these things up here. The only thing that I don't like about having these up here is that they are so small. They don't take up much height. But if I stack them, then they fall all over each other. So for now, that's where they'll stay. I have my Instant Pot, food processor, mixer, and then my popsicle molds up there. That's where my granola is going to go. Mixing bowls, I like to keep at a pretty good height because I use them all the time. We plug in our coffee grinder. I'm going to put our winter stuff away. I know we live in Minnesota, but it's time. It's June. It's time. Well, not perfect, but holy moly, what a big improvement. I didn't realize I had so many different random boxes of crackers because they were in all different areas. I had things that I normally keep in the basement for storage, like extra ketchup, in there. I was able to move over some of the things that were still in bags into the half-gallon jars, which was nice. What a breath of fresh air. Let's just take a closer look. So like I said, I left the stuff alone on top. These, even though they're heavy, they fit the best there, so I moved them up. I do have more storage containers, so I might reorient these, and you better bet that this single gray one bugs me. I actually have an extra white cap, so I might replace that. These things, easy to grab. I don't like having this many things like this out at once, so as we reduce some of these boxes, this one's almost empty, so are these, so is that one. So as we get rid of these, this will just be smaller, and I can move these over and rearrange some things. Also, packaging is just super messy, which is also why I like to keep stuff in these clear containers. It's so much nicer visually, And then I moved our lids over here. I used to have them open. I had them in closed containers because the kids dig and play, and then they're all over the house. So we'll give this a try. I moved the extra jar that will be filled with granola right there. And then the one that they can grab out of is ready to go there. Bowls. This is sort of like a snack container. I found so many random snack things that did not need to be in here, but I just kind of piled it all in, and just like the shelf right above it, hopefully we'll eat this down, and then this will not stay near as full because you can't really access. And this is also some of those things that I throw in their lunches when we're leaving the house. So I'm not too worried that that's going to stay like that. I decided to move any just some thin hats and gloves and, headlamps and stuff like that. I moved them underneath our kitchen towels. The kitchen towels, I just use one big bin because folding them is a waste of time. Because I needed a spot for water bottles. There's only one here, but we probably have 8 to 10 that are typically in circulation and just get stuffed in random places here. That's not an ideal location for these mugs and canned goods, but they're relatively safe for the kids to grab. Well, the baby, the young one. So I just put all that stuff there. Oh, and then the lunch containers right next to the storage. So yeah, that was great. Thank you for coming along with me. It always makes a huge difference to have you with me as I do these kitchen things. My granola is almost done, so I'm going to pull that out. If you'd like to see more of what comes out of my kitchen, more routines, please subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon.